Hey, I'm Addis Michael. I spend my days helping founders, creators, and businesses build these incredible, scalable digital systems using WordPress, automation, and AI. So today, what I want to do is break down some high-revenue WordPress plugin blueprints. And notice I said blueprints, not just ideas. These are solid plans that can realistically scale to 7 figures, but only with the right execution and, of course, the right market focus.
Okay, let's just start right here, because this is the absolute heart of the matter. You see it all the time, right? A developer builds something that's technically brilliant, but it just sits there, gathering digital dust. Why does that happen? Well, it's because it's a solution looking for a problem. Success isn't about having a cool idea or a slick feature. It's about finding a painful, expensive problem for a very specific group of people who are absolutely desperate for a fix.
And that really is the million-pound question, isn't it? If failure comes from solving the wrong problem for the wrong person, then success has to come from something much deeper, much more strategic. It's not about luck. It's about having a framework.
And that is exactly what we're talking about today. We're moving beyond these flimsy ideas and getting into solid blueprints. See, an idea is just a spark. A blueprint, well, that's the plan for the entire building. It figures out the foundation, the materials, and exactly who's going to live there before you even think about breaking ground.
So here it is, the framework in a nutshell. First, you find a real, nagging pain point. And I don't mean a minor inconvenience. I mean a genuine obstacle that's costing people time or money. Second, you get laser-focused on who has that pain. Not small businesses, but something like solopreneurs trying to sell their first online course. And third, and this is key, you price your solution based on the value of the outcome you deliver, not just the features you built. Let's see how this actually works.
All right, first up, let's talk about the creator economy. I mean, this is a massive, booming market. It's packed with people building independent businesses. And they have some very specific, very painful problems that need solving. And a lot of them circle around ownership and control.
So our first blueprint, let's call it Subsync Pro, tackles this huge problem of being a digital tenant. For years, creators with paid newsletters have gone to platforms like Substack. And yeah, it's easy, but you're basically just renting your business. The blueprint here is about true ownership, building your entire publication on your own land with a self-hosted tool right inside WordPress.
And this analogy just hits the nail on the head. When you use a third-party platform, you are playing by their rules. They can change the algorithm on you, they can raise their fees, they can even shut you down. A self-hosted plugin, though, it gives you total control. You own your content, you own your subscriber list, you own your destiny. And for an independent creator, that's not just a feature, that is freedom.
So how does this actually turn into a million-pound business? Well, you target that specific buyer, the journalists and creators who are desperate for that independence. You offer a recurring annual subscription, and you create higher tiers by locking away the really powerful tools, like advanced analytics and automation. As their business grows, your business grows with them. You're pricing for the outcome they want, a successful independent media business.
Okay, so ownership is one massive headache. But you know what's another? Cost and complexity, especially when it's time to actually sell your stuff. This brings us to our next blueprint, the digital product funnel builder. The problem here is that tools like ClickFunnels, while powerful, are incredibly expensive, and they pull you completely out of your own WordPress ecosystem. The blueprint way is to bring all that power home, natively.
I mean, think about it. Why would you keep paying a huge monthly fee to rent a fancy commercial kitchen across town when you could just install a professional-grade setup right in your own home? This is all about convenience, it's about integration, and it's about long-term value. It's an investment in your own asset, not a never-ending expense. It lets you cook up sales right where you already work.
And the way this makes money is just brilliant. You capture a huge part of the market with an affordable one-time fee, which is a direct shot at those expensive SaaS competitors. Then, you build that sweet, recurring revenue by offering advanced features on a monthly plan. It meets the buyer exactly where they are. But listen, here's the trap. If you build this as just another page builder, you've already lost. It has to be outcome-driven, totally focused on increasing sales.
Okay, let's switch gears. We've talked ownership, we've talked sales tools. Now let's talk about the biggest revolution happening right now. AI. Artificial intelligence is here to solve what might be the most painful problem of all for creators and businesses, the simple lack of time. It takes these incredibly manual, tedious tasks and turns them into something that honestly feels like magic.
This is a perfect example.
The old way of using AI for SEO content was so clumsy. You generate text in one tool, then you'd have to copy and paste it into WordPress, and then spend hours manually optimizing everything. This blueprint just solves that entire painful workflow. See, this isn't just an AI writer. It audits search intent, it maps keyword clusters, and it produces conversion-focused pages all right inside your WordPress dashboard.
And the monetization model here is just so clever. This fountain pen analogy makes it perfectly clear. The core tool, the pen, might be free or very low cost. That creates a really low barrier to entry. But the real sustainable revenue comes from the usage, the ink. As your customers create more content and see more results, they naturally scale up their subscription. It's beautiful.
So while this is amazing for individual bloggers, the real goldmine is targeting SEO agencies. These guys need consistent, high-volume output, which makes them the perfect clients for your top-tier recurring plans. They'll have high retention. And the positioning here is everything. Remember what we said. People don't pay for content. They pay for rankings and traffic. This tool delivers that outcome.
Now, just like AI can solve the content bottleneck, it can also tackle an even bigger monster, building an entire course from scratch. The pain point it solves is absolutely massive. It's planning overwhelm. Most learning management systems out there are just empty filing cabinets. They give you the structure, sure, but you have to do all the agonizing, painful work of filling it. This blueprint completely flips that on its head.
This 3D printer analogy is just perfect. Instead of building a course piece by painful piece, you just provide the core idea, and the AI generates the entire framework for you. The modules, the lessons, the quizzes, everything. It automates the 90% of grunt work that stops most creators before they even get started. And really, this is the bottom line. Let this sink in. A task that used to take weeks of painstaking research, planning, and writing can now be done in minutes. This isn't just a small improvement, it is a complete transformation of a workflow. And when you can sell that kind of time saving, that kind of magic, you can absolutely command a premium price.
So we've just walked through 4 incredibly powerful blueprints that span the creator economy and the AI revolution. And you'll notice, every single one starts not with a feature, but with a deep, deep understanding of a painful problem. So let's bring it all together? Now this table really pulls it all together. Just look at the common themes here. The demand is high or very high across the board. They all tackle a significant, expensive problem, and they all fill a really clear gap in the market. This is what million-pound potential looks like on paper. It's not a lottery ticket, it's a strategic plan.
Ultimately, when it's all said and done, it all comes down to this. This is the strategic mindset you have to adopt. Don't fall in love with your code, you have to fall in love with your customer's problem. Don't sell features, sell results. Success in this space is about becoming an absolutely indispensable part of your customer's success story.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. What painful problem are you going to choose to own? If you want help turning blueprints just like these into real, scalable products, visit my website at addismichael.com. Subscribe for more breakdowns because remember, ideas are cheap, but execution pays. Thanks for watching.